So of course, I'm not in my normal recording environment. I'm currently on vacation back in my hometown in California. I thought it'd be a good moment to kind of maybe talk about this topic, get a little exercise in, make a video. This is actually the same environment I did my land nav video in, if you've ever seen that one. If you want to see some of the stuff I'm doing while on vacation, check out the vlog channel. Maybe a little card pops up or link in the description box. But let's talk about this whole, what's going on with the ACFT? We're going back to the 3, we're going back to APFT. Let's talk about some things. So there's been jokes talking about like, oh, the Army's gonna go back to push up and sit up and 2-mile run. And it's kind of a thing that it could possibly happen. Right now they have a thing where higher up, Senate and everybody, they want to go back to that. And I believe it's in the process of trying to go back to that, but it still has a lot of steps to go. There's still a lot of other people that have to sign off on it. But yes, that is a thing that people are actually trying to do. They're trying to go back to the 3 fitness test, the 3 event fitness test, and make that one the replacement for the ACFT. And of course, there's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of higher ups in the Army that of course pushed for the ACFT to go away, for the ACFT to stay, to replace the APFT rather. And you know, they don't want to go and just go backwards. They don't want to take a step backwards to go back to the APFT. So I mean, if you know, Senate and all those people, you know, go through and finalize it and approve it and say, yes, let's go back to the 3 event 1 APFT, then yeah, it could go back to the push-up, sit-up, and 2-mile run. But there is going to be a lot of pushback, and I think it might be a little hard, not impossible. It could happen. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Part of the key thing is I believe personally that the ACFT is good, right? It's a good fitness test. The problem with it is it's not as easy to do as the APFT was. And as far as easy, I'm talking about as far as you don't need anything, right? When you did the APFT, you could be in the middle of nowhere and you could do the push-ups, you could do the sit-up, you could do the 2-mile run and do diagnostics or do for record and see where you stand. With the ACFT, you got some equipment you need, so it's a little harder to do. So that's what I mean by it was easier. But I feel like the ACFT is a good test. It's a good test to measure whether or not, you know, a soldier is in good enough shape to be fit for combat. I don't feel like the APFT was. It was easier to administer and be able to kind of know where you stand, didn't take as much time, but the ACFT is a better evaluation of a soldier, I feel like. So then the real question would be, does it make sense to go back to the APFT? I don't think so. I don't think it does. I think maybe there does need to be like a happy medium, maybe not necessarily keeping the ACFT, but not going back to the APFT, but find a way to give a good evaluation like the ACFT currently does, but not require all the equipment. Now, there is additionally in there that, you know, other individuals, you know, they want to keep the ACFT, but they do also want to go back to the gender neutral, the MOS specific type of thing, which that kind of makes sense too. I do think that maybe, you know, you need to make sure to hold a good standard as far as, you know, what kind of shape soldiers need to be in. But I don't think it needs to be the same thing where like a admin personnel needs to be in the same amount of shape as like an infantry soldier. All soldiers should be in great shape, but maybe the admin people don't need to be in as good a shape as like an infantry soldier does. So I think in that sense, if you're gonna do that, right, make it MOS specific, then yeah, you probably could do gender specific or gender neutral rather, and make it to where, you know, it doesn't matter if you're male or female. If you're an admin, this is the standards. If you're a truck driver, this is the standards. If you're infantry, this is the standards, or whatever, right? Whatever your job is, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, this is the standards, and you need to be able to do those standards. This is a lot of sand, by the way. This is kind of getting exhausting walking through here because of all the sand. Maybe that's what they need to do. They need to have a sand obstacle in the Army to have soldiers walk through. So like I said, there is a lot of things that need to happen, a lot of people that need to approve this. There's a lot of equipment that the Army spent money on for doing the ACFT. So I don't know, I don't see it happening. I see changes to the ACFT happening, but I don't think we'll end up going back to the push-up, sit-up, and 2-mile run. I think it'll stay the ACFT, but we could possibly see changes such as, you know, the gender neutral and MOS specific type of thing, but not going back to start. There's just too many people involved that are not gonna go all the way back. They're not gonna wanna start all over again. They're just gonna wanna make modifications to the current one to satisfy the upper people in Pentagon and Senate and whatever, Congress, whatever, but not go all the way back to the start. So I think the ACFT will still be remaining for however long foreseeable future. I don't think we'll go back to that, but we probably still are not out of the water as far as seeing the end of like changes to the ACFT. So what changes will happen? I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'd like to hear from you guys down in the comment section down below. What would you prefer? Do you feel like the ACFT is a good test of physical abilities, or would you rather go back to the 3-event one? Or would you like to see things modified? What would you like to do? If you were the person in charge, what would you do? Would you go back to the 3 events? Would you keep the ACFT but change it? Keep it the way it is? What would you do? Let me know down in the comment section down below. So, finish this little hike here. Like I said, if you want to see some of the stuff I'm doing on vacation, I have a vlog channel, the Christopher Chaos vlogs or the DD214 vlogs. Go check them out. Otherwise, check out some videos that I got pop up on the screen, some recommendations, link down in the description box down below. Thanks for hanging out. I'm Christopher Chaos, and I'll see you next time. See ya.